Good morning students. Today we will going to see about a new unit that is called as environmental science. The immediate surrounding is called as environment. Understand? So the elements of nature continuously undergo changes and transformations. Environmental protection provides the holistic knowledge about the protection and natural process and the effects of human intervention and solutions to overcome the environmental problems. So, what are the environmental issues? That means such as pollution, global warming, ozone layer depletion, acid rain, deforestation, landslides, drought, etc. So, we must have gained a major focus across the world. So, these natural issues we have to adjust. We have adjust to means the living organism adjust themselves according to their habitat and changes in the ecosystem. So the natural resources are recycled once again over on the earth continued availability. At the same time, it also reminds us our responsibility to restrain our activities that will affect the natural process. Understand? All the living organisms developing certain morphological, physiological, anatomical and reproductive adaptations which help to them to survive better and to withstand the environmental conditions. Understand? So, to this, you have to come across the biogeochemical cycle. So, bio means life, geo means earth. Understand? So, the biosphere having overall both biotic and abiotic components. So, biotic components you know. So, the factors which include plants, animals and all other living organisms. Abiotic means which are having no life, the natural calamities, sunlight, temperature, soil, air, etc. Say they have to affect the organisms to survive and reproduce. Understand? So there is a constant interaction between the biotic and abiotic factors, but continuously interaction takes place. So it is a dynamic and stable system. There will be a cyclic flow of the materials between the living and non-living organisms. We are called as the biogeochemical cycle. Understand? The cyclic flow of nutrients between the living and non-living environment we are called as biogeochemical cycle. Understand? So we will see there will be some of the important biogeochemical cycle are water cycle, nitrogen cycle and carbon cycles. We will see one by one. First we will see about the water cycle. So what is the ultimate source of water? That is nothing but the rain. Rain is the ultimate source of the world. Understand? The hydrological cycle or water cycle is the continuous movement of the earth. Understand? So, the water moves from one reservoir to another reservoir by the process such as evaporation, sublimation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, surface runoff, infiltration and percolation. So, what's the meaning of evaporation? Just aviyadal அப்படினு நம்ம சொல்லுவோம். It is a vaporization where liquid is condensed into gaseous state without reaching the boiling point we are called as evaporation. Understand? So the water evaporates from the surface of the earth and water bodies such as oceans, lakes, ponds, dams, etc. Second one is the sublimation. Sublimation is the conversion of solid to gas, that is without passing the intermediate state, that is the liquid. But normally solid, liquid, gas, but here no, the stage is the liquid, that is solid to gas we are called as sublimation process. Example ice, you know. Then third one is transpiration. The transpiration means the elimination of the excess water of the plants through the stomata of leaves and stems is called as transpiration. Then next one is condensation. So condensation is the changing of gaseous phase to liquid phase. Gaseous to liquid phase and the reservoir of vaporization. So you know all the higher altitudes the temperature will be very low. There will be the condensation. The gaseous stage is directly converted into liquid. We are called as condensation. Then precipitation. Precipitation due to change in the wind temperature, clouds and combine to make bigger droplets and pour down as a precipitation. Example, rain and then snow, hail, drizzle. Understand? These are called as precipitation. Next one is surface runoff. That is the water pours down on the earth. It runs over the surface of the earth and combines to channels, rivers, lakes, ponds, wherever it's stored. That is called as surface runoff. Then infiltration. Infiltration means the precipitated water moves down into the soil. We are called as infiltration. Then it moves down to increase the groundwater level. The percolation means whenever the rain fall on the ground, the water is passing through the earth through small holes and also fractured rock. That is called as percolation. So these are more or less same. That is the infiltration and the percolation. Understand? So anyhow these two to conserve the underground water. So in this way the water cycle takes place on the earth. So what is the human impact on the water cycle? So major human activities like water cycle, urbanization, dumping of the plastic on land into water and polluting the water bodies, and deforestation which affects the water cycle. Second one is nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen is the important material, nutrient needed for the survival of the DNA and then proteins, and also chlorophyll. Atmosphere contains 78% of nitrogen. Understand? So plants and utilize cannot directly utilize the nitrogen as such. So they will use it in the form of ammonia, amino acids or nitrates. What are the steps in nitrogen cycle? Is the first nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen fixation means the nitrogen is not directly taken by the plants and as well as animals. It is fixed by the root nodules. That is the leguminous plants fixes the nitrogen as such by means of, that is called bacterium, rhizobium. Rhizobium fixes the nitrogen present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. Second one is nitrogen assimilation. It means the plants absorbs nitrate ions and use them for making organic matters like proteins and nucleic acids. Herbivorous animals convert the proteins into, that is plant proteins into animal proteins. Carnivorous animals synthesize their proteins from their food. Third one is ammonification. The process of decomposition of nitrogenous waste by putrefying bacteria, fungi and ammonia compounds is called as ammonification. Animals' proteins are extracted from urea, uric acid and ammonia. Understand? The putrefying bacteria and fungi decompose the animal proteins, dead animals and plants into ammonia. Then nitrification. The ammonia compounds formed by ammonification. The ammonia compounds formed by ammonification process oxidized soluble nitrates. That is called as nitrification. This process, nitrate formation, is known as nitrification. The bacteria is responsible for which is nitrification is called as nitrifying bacteria. Then finally denitrification. Denitrification. Free living soil bacteria such as Pseudomonas species reduce nitrate ions into gaseous nitrogen. Nitrate ions to gaseous nitrogen. That is NO2 to N2, which enters the atmosphere. What is the human impact in nitrogen cycle? Means burning of fossil fuels. Burning of fossil fuels, petroleum and coal. And the application of nitrogen fertilizers are applied. Other activities can increase the amount of biologically nitrogen in ecosystem. Understand? If alters the biodiversity, changes the food web structures and destroy the general habitat. Then finally carbon cycle. So the carbon occurs on earth in various forms, that is charcoal, diamond, graphite, and in combined forms it occurs as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, carbonate salts, proteins and amino acids. So the carbon enter into the earth by means of photosynthesis. The plant's photosynthesis takes carbon dioxide, understand? And also animals going to respire, they release the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And also decomposition of organic matter, burning of fossil fuels, volcanoes. So these are the sources which carbon enter into the atmosphere. What is the human fact of the atmosphere? Most carbon moves to atmosphere by means of fossil fuels, like that is very important, deforestation. And also the carbon dioxide is also called as a greenhouse gas. Increasing the carbon dioxide, the global warming takes place. That is the earth going to be warmer. Understand? So by increasing amount of carbon dioxide, the earth becomes warmer. This leads to greenhouse effect, that is nothing but global warming. Thank you students. We will see later.